Hello and welcome into the Knicks-Verse. My name is George, and I just want to say, before I begin, I want to thank all the subscribers. We are actually really close to 4,000 subscribers right now, and I really appreciate the support that everyone's been giving me on this channel. It really helps a lot to keep it going, and I'm enjoying it. I'm having a blast doing it. Of course, some nights it's a lot easier than others, but if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so, because I really would like to get to that 4K. That'd be nice. And on top of that, thumbs ups and drop your comments. Love the comments. I do read almost all the comments. I read on average about 80 to 90% of all the comments. Sometimes a flood of comments come in all at once and I don't get to everyone, but I do over time. So it really does help inform my feelings, my attitudes on the games and the players and everything. It's good to hear what your thoughts are. It's good. It's not just a one-way conversation. It's a two-way conversation here. And eventually, I hope to one day have calls and be able to have a lot of you guys on and talk. That'd be awesome. Eventually, we'll evolve to that. But to get there, need your support. So I would really appreciate that. Well, tonight, I'm gonna give you guys. From now, if you've watched my stuff before, you know I'm an optimistic person, and I try to cast a warm light, a warm glow upon the results, even when they're bad. But I also don't do that unless there actually is something real to hang on to. And meaning, I try to keep it real, but I also don't want to be super down or negative just for the sake of being negative. That's not the vibe in the Knicks-Verse. We want to help steer the conversation so that we can finally win a championship. That's the whole point of this. And I've been talking about this for quite a while now. And I got to say, I am concerned about the path that we're on, mostly because of the lack of communication coming from the Knicks front office. I mean, maybe you guys are cool with it. I'm not. I need to hear from Leon Rose or whoever he wants to put in front of the camera. They need to feel the need that the fans have for winning a championship. I need to understand the vision for this team moving forward. And I read everything there is to read, possible to read. I analyze stats. I'm trying to read the tea leaves to understand where we're going with this team. And right now, all we have is Thibs. Thibs is the mouthpiece for the entire organization, and he's also the coach. So he's not the boss. He's not the boss. So he's he has to play a certain type of he's got to like ride the line, where he can't call out too many players for losing their commitment, but at the same time he can't just look the other way either. And also, we live in a different era. We live in the era of this, me talking to you guys. We live in the era of social media. We live in the era of YouTube. We live in the era of fans are able to get their voices out there and heard. So you guys can't be living the way it was back in the 90s. That doesn't cut it anymore. You guys need to fully grasp that. And when I say you guys, I'm talking to everyone who's connected with the team in some form or another. You guys need to embrace and understand the love and passion that we have for this franchise. And you need to reward it. Now, you guys did it last season, and it was awesome. Last season was a fabulous season. This season, not so much. Not so much at all. Nope. So there's my little intro. Let's get to this. Knicks won. They beat the incredibly depleted Detroit Pistons 94-85. They were without Cade. They were without Killian Hayes. They were without Grant for injury reasons, without Olynyk. Who else were they with? They were so incredibly depleted that Hamidou Diallo and Sadiq Bey were their two stars tonight, and they actually delivered for them. They both scored over 30 points. Yeah. I'm going to start with the positives. The positives are, in fact, let's just go to this right here. This is the second half stats. I've broken it down to second half. Look who got the majority of the minutes tonight. The second unit. Now, in a lot of our opinions, a lot of people agree with me. Thibs has been slow in making this move, but the entire fourth quarter was played by the second unit. And that is something we have to applaud Thibodeau on. We have to shout that out. In the past, he has done the template substitutions, as JD would say. I love that term. And he did it in the first half. First half, actually. The team was rolling. In fact, let's look at the first half stats. Yeah, look at the first half. Look at the plus minuses. The whole first unit was minus. The whole second unit was plus double digits. Double digits. We were rolling along. And then Thibs did the same old. He looked to the bench. He saw his starters. And he started subbing them back in. And then the lead started dwindling. And we were only up by 7 at halftime. I believe it was 48-41. And then, here's the thing. You begin the third quarter with those same starters. Let's go back to that. And those same starters in the third quarter were even worse than they were in the first. In the third quarter, they were even worse than they were in the first half. In fact, they allowed the Detroit Pistons, this incredibly depleted Detroit Pistons team that started Luka Garza as their center tonight, who did not look good, started him, and they went on a 16-2 run. So a 48-41 lead turned into a 50-57 deficit. That, again, like I said last night, I'm running out of things to say about the futility of this first unit. Kemba, and now you guys understand a little bit of what my annoyance for the Kemba resurgence was all about, because I didn't believe in it. I don't. I do think that he's a quality player, but unfortunately, he's limited. He's limited defensively, and he'll give you a good run of games for a stretch. I mean, his career was on the line when he, basically he was out of the rotation. So when he finally got the chance when Derrick Rose got hurt, he took full advantage of it, and kudos to him for doing it. But there's also the objective reality of life, which is he's got an arthritic knee. So in the past 3 games, Kemba's averaging 25% from the field. Yep. He's hit 5 of 18 3-pointers for slightly better 27.8% from the field. That's it. But he played 40 minutes against the Hawks, 33 minutes last night against the Timberwolves. For some unexplainable reason, he had to play that many minutes last night. And then tonight, he only played 20 minutes because the Thibs, again, back to the good news. Thibs finally decided to stick with the unit that was playing the best. And that's all the fans want. Accountability. Now, I heard in the postgame, he said Julius is nicked up. You know what? I don't believe it, honestly. I don't believe that he's not nicked up. I believe that he could be nicked up, but he's not nicked up enough to give us this kind of production. He is shooting, in the past 3 games, 34.8% from the field. And that's including a great game that he had against the Hawks, where he shot 6 of 9 from the 3-point line. Yeah. So he shot 6 of 9 from the 3-point line against the Hawks. And since then, in the 2 games since then, he is 1 of 8. from the three-point line. 25 points against the Hawks, 13 points last night against the Timberwolves, and tonight he had a whopping 5 points. But I'm so glad Thibs didn't put him back in that fourth quarter. He made him sit on that bench along with RJ, along with Kemba. By the way, Fournier didn't start today. He was a late game scratch, and Grimes got the start. And for all the Grime Hive people, and I love Grimes, but he's a rookie. There's a reason he was the 25th pick. He dropped to there. He's going to have nights like this. He did not have it. He was 0 for 4 in the first half, and he was 0 for 1 in the second half. He didn't make a single bucket. So all of you guys that want to hitch your wagon and say, hey, bench this guy, start this guy, you got to take it a little slow. I totally would want Grimes to start over Fournier because of the defense that he provides. But he's not, he's not the ultimate solution to what ails this team. What ails this team is that the players are miscast in their roles. And once again, Thibs, I'm going to come at you with your own words. Last year was last year. It's irrelevant. But that's your words. But you're not living like that. You are still coaching as if last year was relevant. It's the only explanation I have for why you continue to bury Obi Toppin on the bench when he is totally outproducing Julius Randle. Definitely efficiency-wise, I don't understand it. I mean, I do understand it. I don't want to be cheeky like that. I do understand it. I understand that you're trapped. And your boss trapped you. He drafted a guy last year, which is only a little bit over a year ago, pretty much, 14 months ago. I drafted a guy who played the same position as the guy who became an All-NBA or who you helped turn into an All-NBAer. And Julius was fabulous last season. But that player is long gone. That's not the player we have this season. And we are 35 games into it. Is it 35 games? Yes, we're 35 games into it. I mean, we're into it. We're only we're 5 games away from the midpoint of the season. Things have to change. I don't think that you can keep going to the Randall well and expect a different result. I mean, you may from one night to the next, but we need consistency. RJ is a different story, and I'll drop another video to talk about specifically about RJ. I actually have more faith that RJ can return to the player that he was last season than I have in Randall returning to the player he was last season. And I have statistics to prove that. But this team doesn't rely on RJ the way that it relies on Randall. Randall is the engine, and he's being forced to play a part that he is ill-suited to play this season. And we have run out of time. You said it yourself. 10 games, 20 games, 30 games, and then half the season's over, and that's bullshit. Well, we're getting close to bullshit time. That's right. All right, let's look at some the highlights here. I should have been playing these highlights while I was talking about all this right here. Man, that Mitch, by the way, did not follow up last night's tremendous effort with a good effort tonight. He only had 7 points, 7 rebounds, and let's see, how many blocks did Mitch have? Did he even have any blocks? Nope, no blocks for Mitch. Nope, but Taj Gibson had 4 blocks. Taj, the ageless wonder, comes in and he provides a spark for this team in the center position. We're lucky to have him on this team, and he's a Thibs disciple. I know we trash Thibs all the time, but Thibs is a brilliant coach. He is just, unfortunately, he's trapped. I'm going to keep using that word. He's trapped in the situation that he's in, and the only way out is making incredibly drastic decisions. Now, Kemba, I mean, how are we going to continue winning consistently when we have a point guard who is not consistent? I mean, he was totally absent tonight. Completely absent. So, I mean, what can we do? I mean, what can we do? Well, I know one thing we can do. We can start someone else. We can start Emmanuel Quickly, who actually had a very, very good game. He was actually one of the spark plugs. He also played the most minutes tonight, almost 35 minutes. He only had 2 assists. But 18 points. He had a nice steal. Provided some good defense. Only hit 4 of 13 field goal attempts. 2 of 7 from the 3-point line. But he hit all 8 of his free throws. And that really matters. 27, plus 27. But the guy who saved our asses tonight was Alec Burks. There he is, man. He was outstanding tonight. And he didn't get the start. Remember when Fournier got benched, Grimes got the start. And I agree with that decision. Burks is better suited to come off the bench. I think it's just possibly it could be his own mental makeup. It's just something he's just used to doing his whole career. He's a quiet guy. He's not someone who likes the spotlight. So he doesn't, and this I'm all just reading into it. He doesn't look like he needs to have that glow of being a starter. He doesn't need that for his ego. He just loves to play basketball. He loves to compete. He has great size. He's an excellent defender. He really is. And tonight, 34 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals for Alec Burks. 3 steals. And he hit 12 of 17 of his field goal attempts. 12 of 17. He shot 70%. Woo! And as far as 3-pointers, 5 of 8. 62.5%. And he hit all 5 of his free throw attempts. In fact, that unit of Quickly, Taj, Burks, McBride, and Toppin, they hit 15, 18 of 19 free throw attempts. They hit 18 of their 19 free throw attempts. Love that kind of efficiency. Love it. Quickly was a plus 27. Taj, plus 31. Burks, plus 28. Deuce McBride did not score one single point. No. But he was a plus 39. And Obi Toppin gave us a very chill 9 points in his 22 minutes of play. Got a steal, got 1 assist, 4 rebounds. And he hit 3 or 4 of his free throws. He was a plus 36. Let me see. I think this is already rebounding. Let's go here. I mean, here we go. Alec Burks, 19 points in the fourth quarter. 34 points on the night. He was on fire. He saved our asses tonight. Absolutely. Look at the quarter-by-quarter scoring. We allowed these Detroit Pistons to score 30 points in that third quarter on us. Now, that second unit came in and clamped down on them and only suffocated them to the point, only allowed 14 points in that fourth quarter to keep them under 90 for the whole game. 85 points. Last night, 88 points for Minnesota. On Saturday, Christmas Day, 87 points for Atlanta. 3 games in a row, the Knicks have held their opponent to under 90 points. More good news. I'm going to keep going on this. The game flow. You can see it right there. Look at that. Almost looks like a stitch pattern. Let me see here. Yeah, look at the plus minus. And tonight, because I know there's there's still a debate, there's still doubt about the validity of the plus minus stat. And I've said it, I've explained it before, game by game. You have to, kind of like, you have to factor it in, but it's not the end all be all. However, tonight, this is emblematic of what we actually saw. Yes, the starting unit was an average of looks like about a minus 23. And the bench was an average of a plus 20, a plus 30. Yeah, about a plus 30. So there you go. And that actually, that matches the eye test. So there we have that. Saddiq Bey, 32 points. The least efficient shooter in the NBA. But tonight, 6 of 13 from the three-point line. We did it once again. The New York Knicks were able to allow an opponent to have an amazing night, an outlier night. There you go. 32 points for Saddiq Bey. And I do like Saddiq Bey is a nice player, but this year he's not having a great shooting year. Very inefficient. And Hamidou Diallo, who I also think is a player with untapped potential. I'm not even sure what his journey has been in his career, why he is where he is. But look, 13 of 19. He's an ex-Kentucky guy. 13 rebounds, 31 points. Yeah, nice. But here we go. Knicks shot 38.3% overall. Only 25.8% from the three-point line. Only hit 8 of 31. And the free throws were key tonight. Hit 24 of 27 in total. Rebounds, we out-rebounded them. About the same assists. 19 assists is still too low, guys. That's just way too low. It's why we're not getting over 100 points. We weren't able to play this to break the century mark last night, and we still weren't able to break the century mark tonight. Steals, nice steals, 11 for both. Blocks, the same. Turnovers, the same. But look at the points off turnovers. We have a tendency to not get back in those turnovers. We were a -4 overall, even though we got 17 points off their turnovers. They got 21 off of ours. But tonight, fast break points, 15-9. We won that. Points in the paint, we won that battle as well, 46-28. The fouls, we kept that in check. They actually had the largest lead of the game at 14 points. We only had a 13-point lead. So, there it is, guys. The Knicks won for the third night in a row. 3-game winning streak, so that's more good news. And now we have OKC on Friday. If we can win that game against OKC, the Knicks will finish this year with a 500 record. That's what we got to have. All right, thank you guys for watching this. And again, please support the channel, share it, tell people about it, other Knicks fans if they haven't watched it, because we want to get over 4,000 subscribers soon. And hit your thumbs ups and drop your comments. Definitely want to hear your thoughts about these Knicks. Our Knicks. Our Knicks. And I will see you around the Knicks-Verse.